Hello, friends and followers of Pinzon Ministries. Our message this time it is based on the book of the Old Testament, called the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verses 1 to 39. Here we find Elijah. Elijah was one of the famous prophets of Israel, famous for his power, for the power God gave him. And here we find in this portion of the Bible some kind of competition. There are some bad men, kind of 450. Well, worshippers of the devil, we can call them Satanists. And there is Elijah, famous prophet. Well, it seems good for him then to go and to go to some high place, to some mountain there, and to prepare each one, the bad guys and Elijah, two separated offerings, sacrifices for their respective gods. So the bad guys prepare, make ready their offering, their sacrifice, and also Elijah. So these bad guys begin to call upon his God. This God is there in the Bible with this not capital G. So they begin there to call upon their God. An entire day, calling and calling. Some hours in the evening, Elijah begin to mock them, to say things like, maybe he's sleeping, your God. Maybe he's busy. That kind of things, We find some prophets of Israel there in the Bible mocking the bad guys, in this kind of competition, serious competition. And well, finally, there is no fire to consume that sacrifice. That was the thing. Those worshippers of the devil, exactly of some of those gods, any false god, who is behind any false god is Satan, of course, who is behind every single idol out there, including that, of every single idol out there is Satan. So nothing happened at the very end of the day. Nothing happened with that sacrifice there, you know. Well, you know, a waste of a cow there. And then Elijah is now his turn. In this story we find here. Then Elijah is now his time, his turn. And well, he asked for the bad guys, to the bad guys. Hey, you know, throw there upon my sacrifice and my offering, you know. Some water, and he asked of those bad guys to do it again and at your time to pour their water in order of course that thing, that to assure that thing will not work, you know. So there is kind of no way for that thing to catch on fire, you know, from the heaven, you know, from heaven, because that was the what they were doing there, waiting for some fire from heaven to come and consume the holocaust there, in order to see who is the real God. That was the kind of competition there that day. So yes, fire, that thing got some fire came from heaven, and consumed the holocaust, the offering of this prophet. You know, this prophet, you know, maybe it's so complicated sometimes to say Elijah, you know. Maybe your son is called Elijah, you know. Maybe your father. Well, you know, there are some other names, you know, a prophet can have, you know. Louis, you know, Alfred, Tom, Tommy, Paul, you know. So, well, that was the thing which happened there in this portion of the Bible, in the book of 1 Kings, chapter 18. Maybe you want to give a look this time. Verse 1 to 39. So, well, it's no more complicated what happened here. These kind of competitions, you know. Well, just thinking a little about some days I was thinking that maybe that will be necessary in my life to play the Elijah there with some Satanists on top of some mountain. But you know, I kind of got civilized. So I don't care now if some others want to worship some other god or some Satan or whatever. It's not my problem anymore. You know, so I already find my God, the one and only, the one this capital G at the beginning, the one and only. He is not Allah, he is not Buddha, he is not Satan, he is not any of those false gods. He is the one and only, this God we know with the name of Jehovah, of Yahweh, the God of miracles, the God of love, the God of the lucky ones. So this is our message here this time.